Everyone, welcome to today's Q&A helpline. Every Thursday I do a Q&A, helpline where members ask me a question and I talk on a specific topic. So today's topic I'm going to talk about is how to dominate your marketplace by defeating all your competition in today's market. And before I touch on that topic, I just want to answer some members' questions and concerns about the economy right now. And the question is, I get from many of my members, some of my members ask me, is that many buyers are sitting on their hands, literally sitting on their hands, waiting for home prices to go down. The question is, what should you be doing? So here's the thing, that there are sellers out there who have properties to sell, and you know that buyers are waiting, they're playing a waiting game. So how do you convince them, how do you motivate them? So let me tell you from my personal experience, there are two ways to handle these kind of buyers. One way is, if okay, it also depends on your personality, and also it depends on your interviewing skills, right? If you are in person or over the phone with this person, with this prospect, right, you should be listening to them. What actually are they trying to say? Try to find out the reason behind this particular objection. Why are they waiting for prices to go down? So they know, you want to sell, right? You want them to buy at the price right before, and yet they are playing a waiting game. Everyone is playing a waiting game. So what do, right? So the first thing is that you have to overcome this particular objection of why are they thinking that way. Try to understand more. When you try to answer an objection without thinking about it, without actually thinking it through, without understanding what is the motivation, why is the prospect saying that to you, you don't know. The thing is that we are not mind readers. We do not know what's on everybody else's mind. So the best thing for you as a salesperson is try to understand why are they thinking this way, why are they saying these things, what exactly is the real motivation behind, what's the real objection, right? So you must understand that prospects always throw bullshit in your face. They always give you rubbish reasons. They always give you lousy, excuses. And when even me, for example, when I listen to these excuses, even my ears bleed. So it's like so frustrating for me as a salesperson to keep hearing those stupid, lame excuses again and again and again. All right. So here's the thing. You must throw the ball back in their court. You must throw it back to them. You must. Okay. So for example, if they ask you, all right, so I'm waiting for home prices to go down. You have to ask them in a nicer way, in a gentler way, and try to understand. Try to ask them in this way. Try to ask them before you ask them. Try to add a gentle statement like, "May I know why are you waiting for the home prices to go down?" And they will give you a reason, right? That reason may or may not be true. So let me tell you my role. My role for flushing out objections is very simple. I ask whatever objection they give to me, they pass to me, I throw it back to them very gently, but I do it 3 times. All right. So here's the thing. Let's imagine that you are the prospect and I am the agent, and you throw me this objection. Your objection is that I'm waiting for cheaper prices. All right. Okay. What should I be doing as a realtor? I ask them. I throw this objection back at them. Why do you do that? Because the only person who can resolve this objection is not you, is the prospect, right? And let him resolve this objection for you, right? Let him do your work for you, right? So what I will be doing, I will throw this objection back at them in a gentler way, and I will ask, may I know why is that so important to you? May I know? All right. And then when you ask them, right, they will tell you something that in usually that will be what I call intellectual smoke screen, which is another word for bullshit. All right. So they may give you some bullshit excuse. When you hear the bullshit, throw the bullshit back at them by asking them another related question. So maybe let's say the first thing they ask you is, I'm waiting for the market to crash, right? and that's why they're waiting for the prices to go down, because in the market down, the prices will be down, right? And then you ask them, you ask them why is it important to them, and they say that, oh, I want to buy at a lower price, all right? So that's the thing, right? They ask you that, they tell you that, oh, I want to buy at a lower price, right? Then you ask them, why is buying at a lower price is so important to you, even though it's such a it okay, don't worry about the question being stupid. It's not about being, the question is deliberately stupid. You must understand that it's deliberately stupid. When you ask stupid question, in my experience, the prospect lowers their guard, right? Lowers their guard. How do I know this? All right. Okay. In I don't know. I'm not that old, but in the 1970s, there was this show, Columbus, right? So Detective Columbus, there was this show. So this Detective Columbus, on TV, he came on TV, and on TV, there was always a case he had to solve, and he was wearing a old, coat, and he had a, worn out hat, and he was, his dress was very bad, and he deliberately appeared stupid, and all those suspects, right? You know, they he would he Columbus, this detective Columbus was the best detective of them all. Why is that? Because he asked them stupid question, and he make them lower their guard, and that make the prospect give him more information, and all the suspect, in the end they always got caught. Why is that? Because they were always thinking, what harm can it do if I just tell him one more harmless information? And this detective Colombo was always asking stupid questions, and using, always obsessively taking notes, all right, and that make him appear slow, and he asked questions to try to catch up, and that is the reason why prospects will lower their guard, because it appears that you are asking stupid questions, all right? The goal is not to act smart or be smart, no, all right? In selling situations, when you are with prospects, when you are with buyers, when you are with sellers, forget about your ego. All right, forget about your ego. Focus on the buyer, focus on the client, and the client is the king for the moment. All right. So when they throw an objection at you, all right, you turn it back at them by asking a simpler question, in a gentle tone. So tone is very, very important. Tone is everything, right? So when you ask them, right, why is it important to you, may I know? Then tell you, oh, I'm waiting for better pricing. Then you ask them, why is better pricing so important to you? And then they will tell you, oh, okay, I don't want to overpay, or I'm worried of not making, not being approved for a loan, or I'm worried about, I can't get this home. Then you ask them a third question. So you already have a first answer, you already have the second answer. You ask them a third question. Why is that? Buying a home so important to you? And then they will tell you, oh, okay, I just want to provide a better life for my family. I just want to be a good father or be a good mother. When they say that, that is the real answer. All right, by stripping away layer by layer, one by one, by asking deep question and listening, actively listening, you will you will know what the real problem is. And then when you know the real problem, what the real problem is, you will solve this problem, and you will stop, you stop getting them to keep playing you along. Instead, you know what the problem is, right? You can offer a solution. Very simple, right? Rather than wait on the market, because on the market, you never know about the market, right? You never know when the market gonna change. You never know, is it gonna change for the better or for the worse. And the most important thing is the opportunity cost of losing that deal. So you tell them, many of my customers have lost a deal because they were waiting for the right time, and they were waiting for the better time, for the prices to go down. And the thing is that it took longer, or it was shorter, and people lost the opportunity, right? So you never know when the same situation is gonna happen again, and people have to wait 13 years or 16 years or 20 years for the same cycle to come back again. So you must scare them. You scare them with statistics, you scare them with logic, you scare them with emotion. Use everything you have, everything that you know, throw it back at them, and tell them that I'm a realtor. I know, I do this for a living every single day. I know how to get the best deals. I have access to information. Tell them upfront. Not many agents are doing this, not many agents are communicating this, but you do a better job, and that is how you convert them over to your site. Tell them that websites like Property Guru, for example, they don't allow normal lay people to register, but as agent you're able to register on Property Guru, right? On an account, get an account over there, right? And then you have access to property information from the inside. You are an insider, you are a real estate agent, right? Even though all the information is already out there on the internet, but you still have the trump card, and your trump card is that you know about properties that come up on the market before anyone else, right? That's one way, right? And another way is you can tell them, on average, my home sells, for 2 to 3 times more than the average agent. Use statistics. Statistics are very, very powerful. And tell them, if the price is not so much of an issue compared to the timing, and tell them that you help buyers by how many times faster. Calculate it. You must do homework, and this is not easy. I'm going to tell you, right? It's not easy, right? You have to sit down, you have to calculate, you have to analyze what are you good at, right? If you're good at selling homes for higher price, or if you're good at getting buyers buy at a lower price, right? Then you come up with a solid statistic. And that is how when you use this statistic, yeah, I mean, this my strategy. Use that strategy, use this statistic as the unique selling proposition. And when people come to you, you throw it the first, right out the gate. The first contact they make you, is your USP, right? And then your USP says what? I have home buyers buy in half the time, 50% compared to other agents. So that is very, very powerful. That is very powerful USP, and you solve the real problem out there. Is that buyers want to buy cheaper, for example, right? So you say that I have buyers buy homes which are $50,000 cheaper, right? It can be anything, but what I'm saying is do your homework and then communicate it in a USP. And then when you do that, it will solve your long-term problem, right? Long-term problem is that people keep asking you the same stupid question. You keep having to deal with a lot of prospects who are still sitting on their hands waiting for the market, right? So you can tell them that I'm an agent, I'm a professional, I can do things, I have a skill. And this skill is something tangible that you can rely on. You cannot rely on the market. You don't know when the market is going to change. You don't know how long it's going to last, right? You never know all this, right? So scare them and tell them that you are confident. Portray the confidence. Show that you are the person who can do this, right? And that is how, I mean, this is the first way. The first way is you using the right kind of persuasion to persuade the other party to come over to your side. That's the and by asking, that's the best way, by asking the right question, by keep asking them until they tell you the real reason, right? And using your listening skills to actively listen and interview them. And then when you know what they want, just give it to them. Very simple. So the number one rule that I can share with you today is that stop answering people's objections. Seriously, stop answering. The best person, the only person who can answer their objection is the prospect himself. It's not your job. Your job is to sell them solutions. We are entrepreneurs, right? We sell houses, right? And we're in the business of marketing, right? We have to be, more active, more proactive about marketing our solution. And our solution is what? Whatever pain they're having, you solve that pain, and that is how you get paid, right? So that is the first strategy, is to solve the problem by using active listening skills. All right. And the second way is very simple. All right. You got to be very, very okay. I mean this is something that not many agents are doing, right? So when you keep hearing these kind of things, right? When you keep getting a lot of this kind of prospect, the second way is very simple. Stop dealing with these kind of prospects altogether. Seriously, go and find better prospects. Why do I say that? All right, in any economy, especially right now in a downturn like this, there are people who die must buy. There are prospects who die must sell. Go and work with them. Stop wasting your time with this prospect who tell you, hey, I'm waiting for a better time, or I'm waiting for the price to go down, right? So simple, very simple. You only have two choices. Either you improve on your persuasion, all right, you improve on your personality. If you have active listening skills, you stop answering their objections and start solving for them, all right, and convert them over to over to your side, rather than being seen as trying to make a quick money out of it, right? Or it's up to you. You stop dealing with them altogether and you start focusing on must move prospects. So let me elaborate a bit more on must move prospects. These kind of prospects are those who already have a contract, who already signed, and suddenly the market changed, but they're still in the market for a home, right? They still want to buy, or they still want to sell a house, right? Go and serve them. That's the thing that you can do. And the positive, the pro, the pro of this strategy is simple. You save up your mind. You stop worrying about what are the prospects. You stop dealing with those kind of prospects who are sitting on their hands. Stop. you know for me personally, it's very tiring, very, very tiring. Try to convince someone who doesn't want to be convinced, right? And you have to do 1,001 things to convince them, to bring them over to your part. And at the end of the day, you feel so exhausted. The process is so exhausting. Yeah, and then and and it's never ending. It doesn't stop. Once you do it with one prospect, you have to start all over again with another prospect. You know how frustrating that is, right? So if you want greater peace of mind, if you want an easier life, if you want things to go more smoothly for you, and obviously it's natural to want that, right? Then you stop focusing on those prospects who are waiting for the economy to improve, waiting for the economy to go down further, waiting for price to drop. They're always waiting. There's all a waiting game also, right? Stop dealing with this kind of prospect. Simple, and start focusing on must move prospect. you know you there is you have to put in the effort. There is work required, and I'm not saying it's going to be easy. It's not. Nothing worth achieving in life is easy. Nothing. If it was so easy, then everyone would have become a millionaire or billionaire, right? So it takes real effort, it takes real strategy, and it takes perseverance. Once you find the strategy, go and stick with it. All right. So you decide, you want to counter the objections, you want to keep finding out what the real reason, and then from there you turn them over to your side, or you want to stop dealing with them altogether and focus on those prospect must move prospect. That means you got to become better at identifying, you got to become better at seeing who those prospects are, and then put yourself there, right? So that they come